All right, my mom really wanted me to do this, so this is why I'm really doing it. She wanted me to start sharing what I know about anything that I know, because apparently her and I have great conversations. So she like, people need to know about this. So here we go. I'm gonna just start on a little topic. One of my favorite chapters in the Bible is Daniel chapter 10. One of my favorite chapters. I'm reading it right now a little bit, figure out where to start. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. Daniel was fasting for 3 weeks. He didn't eat, drink, nothing for 3 weeks straight. He was praying, meditating. He was doing this because he was wanting an answer. So he ducked off and locked in with just him and nature. People do that all the time nowadays. The reason why I like this is because at the end of his fast, a messenger appeared. They call it an angel. I believe it was a very powerful creature sent from the Creator, sent to Daniel. And let's jump into this part. This is what the angel told him he had to get through to get to Daniel. That is really what I want to lock in on. Here we go. Daniel is, he in shock. He basically peed in his pants. And he's about 90 years old too, from what I know. Okay, from the moment that Daniel started fasting, the angel began to be on his way. As soon as Daniel started fasting, the angel like, okay, I'm on the way from another dimension or whatever. While we reading this, please keep in mind, whatever you want in life, law of attraction, whatever you believe in, this is fascinating to me because this is letting you know exactly what's happening while you're sitting there hoping and dreaming and wanting it and working towards it. It's things are moving whether you know it or not. So let's see what this angel went through just to get to Daniel. Daniel was fasting for 21 days. So let's see what the angel had to go through just to get to Daniel. Don't be afraid, Daniel, he said to me, for from the first day that you proposed to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your prayers were heard. I have come because of your prayers. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia opposed me for 21 days. He was fighting against another the angel was fighting, trying to get to Daniel for 21 days. And he called this, I know what it is. It's another angel. He was fighting against another angel. You can call it what you want. For 21 days, they called this angel the prince of the kingdom of Persia, which is the current kingdom that Daniel is in. Daniel is like a strong captain in Persia because Persia took over Israel. So he's fighting against the principalities above that kingdom. And if you haven't seen the movie Immortals, you should at least watch the last scene. It's on YouTube. His son looked up at his father, which was a god. The guy was fighting a whole bunch of enemies in the sky. But only his son could see it because he had a type of, his eyes was revealed, basically. He could see into the spiritual world. And it's always fights going on spiritually around us everywhere. So when you hoping for something, you got to really press in depending on how much you want it. Sometimes you might have to press in for 21 days to get something. Me, my mom, and my brother used to fast every Wednesday from different things. And we would fast so much, we would truly expect some things to happen every Wednesday, every single Wednesday. We would know, like if we fasting for maybe a check to come quicker, somebody's unhealthy, anything, we understand that it's going to happen on that Wednesday for sure. But this angel has been fighting to get to Daniel for 21 days. So he needed some backup. It says, verse 13, chapter 10 in Daniel, then Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help after I had been left there with the king of Persia. Now I have come to help you understand what will happen to your people in the last days, for the vision refers to those days. So the angel made it to Daniel. This is really fascinating coming up though. Watch this. Daniel's still tripping. He can barely stand up when he's talking to this angel. Then one of the humans touched me. Okay, then he spoke, strength, and let me speak. Do you know why I've come to you? Okay, here we go. This is the angel saying, okay, now the angel has to go back to where he came from to deliver the message, or really, his job is done. He has delivered the message to Daniel. Now Daniel can tell all his people, what the answer was, why he was fasting. But what's fascinating is what the angel has to do just to go back home. He said, do you know why I've come to you? I must return at once to fight against the prince of Persia. And when I leave, the prince of Greece will come. No one has the courage to support me against them except Michael, your prince. The prince of Greece. So he was fighting the prince of Persia on the way to Daniel. He delivered the message. His job is done with Daniel. Now the angel has to go back to God. And he had on the way back to God, in between him and God, it's another principality, a bunch of angels and spiritual creatures. He calls them the Prince of Greece. And when this book was wrote, the Greek army, the movie 300 with King Leonidas, that army didn't exist for another 200 years, but it already exists spiritually. That's what's fascinating. He had to fight the Prince of Persia on the way here. Persia's already here on the movie 300. Xerxes, that tall guy that King Leonidas had to fight. Xerxes' fathers, those people were already here. Persia was a powerful army and really wicked. You seen the movie, you know what they were doing. Orgies, all that crazy stuff. That type of activity, that behavior that they had creates a portal for demonic activity above it. So if you're not wanting to be a part of that, and you want if you want that vibe to change in that situation, you would probably be encouraged to move out of the city. Or if you want, like what Daniel wanted, for the energy to change around you, the vibe to change, and all of Atlanta, like Persia, this is what happens behind the scenes. That's what I want to say. This is what happens behind the scenes to make that happen. A lot of times we don't see change because we don't give it time. You got to give it time. You got to put in work. Daniel fasted for 21 days. He didn't eat or drink for 21 days. That's a bad man. At 90 years old, that's a bad man. And the more we speak the words of God that he wants us to speak, the stronger the angel gets. The more they can press in, it gives them strength. But the main reason why Daniel chapter 10 is my favorite chapter, it shows you what happens behind the scenes when you put your thoughts into the universe, your intent, whatever you want to happen. You thinking nothing is happening just because you're thinking about it or you want it to happen, when in fact, your guardian angels and other angels are actually working for you to make these things happen. And if they don't happen in your time, press in harder. Get away from it all. Me and my family, this is one thing that we do that hardly any other family does. My mom, my stepdad, my brother, and my little sister she'll be 14 in December. That's my core team, those 4 people. Us 5, we lock in on one task at a time until the foundation is established, and then we just build on it. Our main mission, really, at this point, is just to protect our peace. We just protect whatever's not helping the peace. We get rid of it. Because from a peaceful place, you can really make smart moves. Even if we off a little bit, we make dumb decisions. I can tell by my family. Just a little stress, we'll move a little too quick. So nowadays, the only thing we think about is just maintaining peace and being patient in our decision making. Outside of that, I mean, you making decisions from a peaceful mind, you're going to be okay. You should be okay. If you're making decisions from a living paycheck to paycheck, having a poverty mindset, things like that, it's not going to work out. You're going to produce more and more of what you don't want instead of peace. With that being said, I just really wanted to break down Daniel 10. I wanted to be done in about 3 or 4 minutes. I don't know how long it was, but let me document. Today's Friday, September 2nd. This is my first video. It ain't gonna always be about the Bible. Next time it might be about stocks, something I really like to talk about. But I really hope you enjoyed it. Outside of that, Daniel 10, I encourage you to read it for yourself, especially verse number 20. Verse 20. And then before you read that, verse number 2. Get that in you right quick. You'll be good to go. Verse number 2 and 20. Okay. That's cool.